There's an event they're calling Guns Saves Lives Day, which will be known as Alan Gottlieb, the Second Amendment Foundation, is a key sponsor of the event. Mr. Gottlieb, welcome to you. I know that you've just moved the day now for your plan of action to the day after December the 14th. This was after huge pressure, not least from the families in Newtown who were outraged. But let me go back to your decision to announce, and these are your words, we are proclaiming Saturday, December the 14th, which is the first anniversary of Sandy Hook, as Guns Save Lives Day. In the coming weeks, you can go to gunsaveslivesday.com and get updates on this open source national project that all freedom-loving organizations are about to be a part of. We're going to show America that there is a good side to guns. Why did you think that December the 14th would be a good day to show Americans the good side to guns, Mr. Gottlieb?
Well, Piers, we picked that date because the gun prohibition lobby was planning on accelerating and launching their new attacks on 80 million law-abiding firearms owners' firearms civil rights. So we picked it in response to that. We were planning on starting each event off with a moment of silence and a prayer, by the way, but we decided to move it to the 15th so that our message would be loud and clear. And by the way, December 15th happens to be Bill of Rights Day, so we moved it one day in the hope that the anti-gun rights movement in the United States would back off as well.
Yeah, obviously it had nothing to do with the Bill of Rights Day. You would have made it that day to start with. So let's just go to what the reaction was from the Newtown families. Erica Lafferty, the daughter of murdered Newtown principal Dawn Hochsprung, said, December the 14th is a sacred day for Newtown families. This should be about our loved ones, not this disgusting political stunt. These people will be trampling on the graves of the innocent children and educators who were murdered that day. Why are you laughing?
Because that's totally over the top. That's not what our intent was. That's not what anything we were going to do was. And again, not all the Newtown families.
You plan a campaign.
Piers,
wait a minute.
Piers, how many days?
Mr. Gottlieb. Wait a minute. You plan a campaign to promote the good side of guns on the first anniversary of the worst mass shooting at a school in American history, and you had the gall to laugh when I read out a quote from one of the victims' families. How dare you?
Piers, how dare the anti-gun movement have been using this tragedy all year long?
This is a family member. This is the daughter of the principal of the school who was killed. How dare you?
Hey, my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to them, and I have children and grandchildren myself. But that doesn't allow them to use that day either to attack my rights. We're backing off to go to December 15th, Bill of Rights Day, the next day. Now, will they back off? Will you back off? How many times this year have you attacked gun rights in your show? 60, 70, 80 times?
Oh, I won't back off people like you, Mr. Gottlieb.
I bet you use December 14th to push your anti-gun agenda.
You're damn right I'll use that day to promote gun safety.
Thank you, and that's exactly why we're responding.
Gun safety in America, Mr. Gottlieb, and I'll do it on behalf of these families. Let me read you what. Let me read you.
People use guns every day for self-defense.
If you may give me a word, let me read you what Neil Heslin, whose son Jesse was killed, said. It's really in poor judgment.
Again,
wait a minute. Give these people.
My heart goes out to these people, but it wasn't a gun.
Your heart doesn't go out to them.
That did it.
Your heart doesn't go out to them. You laugh at them as you did just a minute ago.
You don't know about my heart. You're just pushing your anti-gun rights agenda every chance you get. That's probably why you don't have as many viewers as anybody else does, because people have turned you off.
Sure. Let me just read you a comment here from Neil Heslin, whose son Jesse was killed at Sandy Hook. It's really in poor judgment. This was your decision to have the campaign on December the 14th. I would hope everyone would give the respect they need and deserve. I want to see a day of remembrance, a memorial for the people who lost their lives. I want politics to stay out of Newtown and Sandy Hook that day. But you wouldn't allow them that, would you, Mr. Gottlieb? You wanted a campaign promoting gun.
Piers, you just said that you won't back off, that you're going to use that day on your show to promote your agenda. So if you're not going to back off, why should anybody else?
Mr. Gottlieb, you're misquoting me. What I said was I would use that day.
No, I'm not misquoting you.
Wait a minute, Mr. Gottlieb. I want to see if you challenge what I'm about to say. I said that I will use that day to promote gun safety on behalf of those families. Which part of that sentence do you find offensive?
Because your definition of gun safety is banning guns and confiscating guns. Your position of gun safety, you're misusing the word safety.
When have I ever asked to confiscate a single gun?
Well, where? Do you support people owning assault weapons?
Where have I ever said? Where have I ever said I want to confiscate a single gun?
No, you don't.
No, I've never, Mr. Gottlieb.
Compared to Britain, where they banned guns, and you think that's great.
Yeah, how many gun murders do we have a year in Britain, Mr. Gottlieb?
Well, actually, if you read the reports today,
how many gun murders a year?
Department in Britain, Well, one of the problems is the data
You know
given
the
after
answer.
Britain is not accurate.
You know
There's
the
a big
answer.
story about it today. I don't know the answer because the data given
Let
after
me
Britain
help
is
you.
not accurate.
Let me
and
help
it's just
you.
no, but
Let me
again,
help you, Mr.
read the
Gottlieb.
stories today, today's news, and you'll see that data is not accurate.
Thank
and
you.
people in Britain are going
Let me
crazy
give you
over
some
it.
accurate data. 35 people
Because
on
the data-
average.
But they've just admitted the
Mr.
data is not
Gottlieb,
accurate.
give me some time, please.
We don't have accurate data.
Mr.
from Britain
Gottlieb,
now.
be quiet. 35 people a year on average are killed by guns in Britain, right? In America, it's 11 to 12,000. And you know the reason
guess what?
that so many people get killed by guns in America? Because idiots like you, and I use that word very
Thank you for your
deliberately,
name-calling.
think it's
Thank you for
funny.
your name-calling.
Think it's funny to laugh in the middle of me reading out a statement from the victims'
Piers,
families
the
of
problem
Sandy
is
Hook.
Piers, all your emotional rhetoric doesn't solve any problems. All it does is polarize the situation and make it toxic so we can't get good answers to solve the problems. It's people like you that have politicized it, not me. You've done it 40, 50, 60 times in your show this year.
Yeah, I just want less Americans to die from guns. What about you?
You want less Americans to own guns, period, right?
I think that would be a good thing, yes.
Thank you. You just proved my point.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of think that you had too many guns in this country. I think too many people
Well, thank
walk
you.
around with assault rifles. Do you remember the last time we had an
But
interview
look, this
together?
many people every day save their lives
Oh,
because
what a
of guns.
load
The
of
most
nonsense,
conservative
Mr.
study done,
Gottlieb. It's a load
funded
of
by the federal
nonsense.
government.
You just invented that statistic.
I didn't invent that. It's the National Civil Justice funded a
The
police
last
foundation
time, the last time you came
that
on my
showed
show,
that.
do you remember the last time you came on my show?
Yes, I do.
What day was it?
It was most enjoyable.
What day was it?
It was right after Newtown.
No, it's right
No,
before.
it was right before or right after.
No, you can't even remember. It was December the 12th. It was just before
It was
Newtown.
2 days. It was 2 days before.
Right. Yeah, you were laughing then as well, and we discussed the AR-15
Well, I'm laughing
assault
at
rifle.
you, Piers. I'm
With respect,
laughing
you're
at
still
you,
laughing.
Piers.
I know you find it all terribly funny. I don't. On that day, you told
No,
me
I don't find it
that
funny
I was.
either, Piers.
You
That's
told
why I think
me,
people should have a right to
Mr.
defend
Gottlieb,
themselves.
you told me that
Nobody
day.
should be a victim.
You can keep talking over
People in
me.
Newtown shouldn't be a victim.
Right.
People tomorrow shouldn't be a victim.
Mr. Gottlieb, just to remind you what you told me that day. You spent a long time in that interview on December the 12th, 2012, informing me that I was exaggerating the dangers of the AR-15 assault rifle. And 2 days later, Adam Lanza took an AR-15 to Sandy Hook, and he shot dead 20 children, first
And that's
graders.
disgusting and it's horrible, but it wasn't the gun. But he also had a rifle and a shotgun and a handgun. The bottom line is he could have used any gun, Piers. The problem is if somebody would have been on that school grounds armed to protect the children so their lives would have been saved, we all would have been happy and it would have been a blessing.
Let me leave with the final words from Shannon Watts of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, a group formed in response to
Another
Newtown.
gun control group.
Fine. Gun safety is a better phrase, isn't it, Mr. Gottlieb? She
No,
said,
because gun safety is a misnomer. These
Okay.
people have never even shot a gun. They've never been trained for safety.
I've shot an
Go to a
AR-15.
gun range and train for safety.
Mr. Gottlieb, let me just, if you would just let me read what she said. American mothers will not allow a depraved vocal minority to sully or smear the memory of the victims of Sandy Hook. I'll just say this to you, Mr. Gottlieb. What you did,
Nobody's
what
smearing
you
any
did,
of these memories. My
what
heart
you
goes
did,
out to them, to every victim of any
what
kind
you
of
did,
violence.
Mr. Gottlieb, in launching this campaign for the first anniversary of Sandy Hook was one of the most disgusting things I have ever had to witness. And you should be ashamed
But
of
your
yourself.
50, 60, 70 anti-gun shows that you've done picking on the rights of gun owners was not disgusting, not politicizing or polarizing anything.
Okay,
right?
I've
It was
enough of
okay for you to
We're
do it, but
moving
it's
on.
not okay for
Next,
anybody
do
else
guns
to do it.
save lives? Gabrielle Gifford survived a near fatal shooting almost 2 years ago. I'll ask her husband, Captain Mark Kelly, what he thinks.